What's up everybody, Ninth Jim here, back with another VGC 2020 Pokemon Sword and Shield competitive video. Today, we're talking about Beartic, this Slush Rush fast Pokemon. It's pretty cool. Ice is not the greatest typing, but it's not bad. Has solid stats. If you activate Weakness Policy on this Pokemon, it becomes a huge threat and can take down huge teams very, very well because it's also just very fast in general. You can set up Aurora Veil with its partner Pokemon since it needs something that sets Hail on entry, and this Pokemon could just be pretty strong as far as Slush Rush and just hitting guys really hard goes. I keep mentioning Slush Rush, let's go ahead and talk about it. So it's like Swift Swim, Chlorophyll, any of those kind of things where it just doubles the Pokemon's speed whenever a certain weather is in effect, and this is the Ice one. Whenever Hail is in effect, then doubles up our speed, which is pretty good. We have a very low speed, as you'll see right there. At base 50, it's very low. However, with investments and doubling, this Pokemon gets to be insanely fast. It hits a very solid speed tier. There are stuff that still outspeeds us, but we outspeed a lot of Pokemon. Anything that's not like just scarfed or, doubling speed with their own ability. And it's just good in general. So let's go ahead and jump into this Pokemon. So Ice, not an amazing typing. Resistance to Ice, just cool. But weaknesses, Fire, Fighting, Rock, and Steel. That's 4 big weaknesses. All are good in the meta and very comfortable and strong Pokemon. Strong typings and very used in the meta is pretty much what I'm saying. And having 4 of these weaknesses kind of sucks. Only 1 resistance. We do use weakness policy. We have Aurora Veil that we can set up, and you can like lighten the load a little bit on this Pokemon. However, you still take a lot of damage, and it's unfortunate, but there's not really much else to say about it. It's just unfortunate. So yeah, that's about it for this for our typing. We'll go ahead and talk about our stats here. So HP at 95, 80 defense, and 80 special defense. Overall, not too frail. Like very solid stats. They're all very average. However, all of these weaknesses, you take 2 times damage. A lot of them are just gonna kill you. A lot of them can even kill you through Dynamax, which sucks. But like I said, Aurora Veil can really help lighten the load on what this Pokemon will be able to live, which is pretty good. And yeah, it's pretty good. Attacking stats are pretty solid. 130 attack, 70 special attack. We don't really care about special attack. We're just going into that attack stat. That 130 is huge. And then speed at 50 is also, not great. But like I said, with investments plus ×2, it gets pretty good. So yeah, it's pretty cool. We'll go ahead and jump into the actual build here of this Pokemon. And I built it to be just weakness policy. We just want to be able to deal as much damage as possible. And honestly, like even though it has a very high attack stat, even with that being a thing, like just being very bulky or being very attacking, like very heavy attack. I can't talk. Like weakness policy just puts it really into a different league. Like it can't take huge knockouts on Dynamax Pokemon without the weakness policy. And that's kind of what we're going for. We want to just be able to Dynamax this Pokemon, take down every other Dynamaxing threat, as well as just other Pokemon in general. We're very fast and very comfortable with this Pokemon. So weakness policy, I think, just works best with this Pokemon. You can use something like Life Orb, potentially even like something like Focus Sash if you want to live. However, Focus Sash is typically going to be ran on whatever its partner Pokemon is, whether that's a Alolan Ninetales or anything of that source. And whoops, I didn't set music to loop, so that was just a minute of me talking. Oh well, it happens. Anyway, so as far as this Pokemon goes, ability Slush Rush is our best one. We can use Swift Swim, however, I just think Slush Rush works better in this Pokemon. You don't really get too much more buffs from water. I guess you get like Liquidation being buffed a little bit, which is cool. But I think being faster and then being able to chip damage it's just good. I think it's better for this Pokemon. Also, it's like you're gonna be able to reset it pretty easily with Icicle Crash if you max Hailfall. It's better than having to max Liquidation for not amazing damage. So I just like it. I think Slush Rush is better. Next, we have weakness policy as our item. We already talked about it. Some other stuff could be, Life Orb or anything of that sort. But I do think weakness policy is pretty good. Next, for our moves, we're going to go ahead and talk about our moveset. So, Icicle Crash, Liquidation, Superpower, and Protect is the moves that I went with. I wanted Protect as a max guard as well as a regular Protect. I just think this Pokemon values that pretty well. Next, we have... Also, it's notable that you can just Protect turn 1, take an attack, from like a max Pokemon, like something like Excadrill that commonly maxes pretty early. They can go for a max Steel Spike through Protect, activate your weakness policy, and then next turn you're just like most likely faster. You might have to like make some weird switching plays if they like reset the weather, but either way, it's, you know, it's good. Like you'll be able to set off your weakness policy early, which is good. Because like I said, this Pokemon's really not that great without weakness policy, to be honest. But oh well. Next, for the rest of our moves, we have Liquidation and Superpower. Both of these are just pretty good. They cover our own weaknesses pretty well. You know, Liquidation just destroys Rock and Fire type Pokemon, and then Superpower just destroys the Rock Pokemon and Steel Pokemon. So that's pretty good. Superpower and Liquidation like just cover us pretty well. Really good coverage moves. Next, and then Protect, like I was saying, like I value Max Guard and regular Protect. We can break it. They can break through with our Protect. Activate our weakness policy, like I said, is just very good things in general. Next, we have some flex moves. These moves are pretty good. However, they didn't make the final set. Things like Play Rough, Rock Slide, Throat Chop, and Swords Dance. The first three are just more coverage moves, just good moves in general. And then Swords Dance, I actually have this featured in the single Spotlight build, but not in this build, because I just like Protect more. Like I was saying, like I value Protect. I think it's really good. Next, we have our investments. So Attack 252, it's pretty good. Max attack and max speed at 252 as well, just making this Pokemon as fast as possible and dealing as much damage as possible. We're Jolly in nature, giving us that plus speed minus special attack, and we hit 112, which is good. Doubles that, 224, which is very good. And we have our speed tiers here in just a few moments that I'll talk about, which makes them, you know, good. So yeah, in max invest in attack and speed, just fast. That's really the name of the game. Let's get pretty fast. Next, for our synergetic Pokemon, we have Alolan Ninetales. This Pokemon is pretty good. It sets your Hail when it switches in, which is good. That's what we need. You can use that or Vanillix. I really like Alolan Ninetales better. I think it's just better. It's faster. It's like it has a better move pool. You don't have to use just ice attacks. Like that's always what we see on Vanillix, on like common Vanillixes, is they'll just have like 3 attacks and then Aurora Veil, or like 2 attacks, Protect, and Aurora Veil. And they're all ice attacks. Like it'll be like Freeze Dry, Blizzard, Icy Wind, Ice Shard, any of those moves. But with Alolan Ninetales, the common sets are going to be like Blizzard, maybe Freeze Dry, Moonblast, and Aurora Veil, or like maybe Protect over one of those. But probably the two good moves, the Freeze Dry and Blizzard, and then yeah, Moonblast or Aurora Veil. So it's cool. It also sets Aurora Veil for us, which is really good as well. Then we have 2 other Pokemon just to kind of soften up or the blows, you know. So Hitmontop works actually as 2 things. So Hitmontop and Incineroar are both Intimidators. You know, they both are able to lower your opponent's attack and just make our weakness policy a little more potent by taking less damage from that attack, which is really good. Hitting things like Excadrill that would commonly be able to potentially OHKO us, even Dynamax, they just can't after an Intimidate, which is really good. And then the other one here, Hitmontop, the other reason it's good is that it has access to Bullet Punch, which can priority activate our own weakness policy, which is good. Really sucks that there's no like move like that for Alolan Ninetales, or else I think this Pokemon would definitely be a little less underrated, but oh well. So yeah, that's about it for our synergies and just build in general. We'll go ahead and talk about speed tiers here. So as far as speed tiers go, and you can really tell the green screen's weird there. It's shadowed because I have bad lighting in my room. It's shadowed, so it's like that's why it looks all fuzzy and weird there. But oh well. Anyway, as we go on here, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about our speed tiers. We are at 224 right in the middle. So unfortunately, we aren't faster than most Scarf or like other weather type Pokemon. Things like the Venusaur, the Chlorophyll at the very top there, and then like the Swift Swim guys. Obviously, like regardless, whoever's weather is winning gets the speed. You know what I mean? Like, so if say it's Scarf, say it's currently Hail, right? I'm faster than the Venusaur or the Excadrill, Sandrush, Excadrill. All of those Pokemon, obviously you're faster than those because that's what's set. So it doesn't really matter. Like, those don't super matter because if they change the weather, then they're outspeeding us like a lot anyway. So yeah, but I still put them down. I just wanted to touch on that. But yeah, 224, so we're pretty fast. We do outspeed some really good things here. Gyarados after Dragon Dance or Max Airstream, like more likely Airstream. And then Togekiss Braviary after Airstream as well. And Vanillix at Scarf. So we outspeed Vanillix Scarf, which is good. It's definitely like declining in play, but it's still good. And then we also outspeed Base Dragapult, which is really good, and Jolly like max speed Dragapult, which is just good in general. You know, like Icicle Crash just like kills it, so that's good. Or Max Hail, what's that move? Max Ice Day or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's not that. But yeah, we're pretty fast. Other things that do outspeed us, though, a lot of other Scarf Pokemon and other users of that kind of doubling speed. So we have Form Change Rotom that at Scarf that outspeeds us, which is annoying. Galarian Darmanitan at Scarf, which is annoying. Like, all these things are really good. Hydreigon at Scarf, all are very good against us and outspeed us, which is unfortunate. However, we can potentially live some of them, especially through an Intimidate or Aurora Veil. We can definitely live some. Although, if they lead that against our lead, then they're going to kill us because they're outspeeding us and we won't be able to set Aurora Veil. But oh well. So yeah, that's about it for our speed tiers. We'll go ahead and talk about our damage calcs. So I'll not, like, naturally, I'll just move up after a couple of damage calcs. But to start it off, we have Excadrill Max Steel spiking into our Dynamaxed Beartic here, hitting a 25% chance to OHKO. This is unfortunate, like very, very unfortunate. Even if you protect turn 1, you can set off your weakness policy and then be faster than it and then deal a lot of damage the next turn. A Max Geyser gives us a guaranteed OHKO once weakness policy is procced. We're there against the Excadrill, making that not a bad matchup. You hit protect turn 1, read the correct thing, and then make sure that your thing is set, like your hail is set, and then you're fast and you kill it. You know what I mean? That's awesome. But if it doesn't go correctly, then you're in a bad position against Excadrill. It'll just kill you. You know, like if it max rock falls and you led the two, like the Hail Setter. Do you know what I'm saying? So like you lead Hail Setter and Beartic, right? And they hit you with a max rockfall, you protect. Your weakness policy is proc naturally. However, now the Sandstorm's activated, so you have to like switch out your guy the turn before and then switch it out, or like not lead it. It makes it weird. It makes it a very weird duality against duality. That's not the correct way of using that term. Oh well. Yeah, so we can have a good matchup or a bad matchup against Excadrill. It depends on how the whole game goes. So yeah, weird. Next we have Incineroar. So our Dynamaxed boy, intimidated and weakness policy, so essentially just +1, and then actually just +1, not essentially, just +1 in general. Superpower into an Incineroar. This is non-Dynamaxed, actually. That's a superpower, non-Dynamax. Oh well. Or liquidation, either one. I think they do like very similar. Superpower is more. Obviously, it does a little bit more, but yeah. Actually, it's like irrelevant enough to make the kill instead. I don't know for sure. Ooh. Anyway, good matchup against Incineroar. Even after as long as our weakness policy is procced, even after an Intimidate, we're still able to OHKO without Dynamaxing, which is very good. I hate this. I hate that so much. OBS, you should know what I'm trying to do. You should just know it. Anyway, so next we have the Incineroar itself Flare Blitzing into our Beartic, hitting a guaranteed 2-hit KO, only hitting 54 to 64 into our Dynamaxed Beartic. This is important because if it's not Dynamaxed, it OHKOs with Flare Blitz, so that's unfortunate. Even with 0 investment, or like 4, but 0 or 4, either way. Next, we have Dynamax Beartic Hailstorm into a Togekiss. Fairly defensive, 212 HP and 116 plus defense. Hitting 93.8% chance to OHKO, which is very good, but this is with weakness policy procced. Notice how all of them are weakness policy procced? We kind of need weakness policy to activate to be able to do a lot out of really much. You know what I mean? Like, weakness policy makes this Pokemon good. Weakness policy is insane. Like, +2 on attack is just crazy, but it kind of, like, we kind of need it to work. Next, we have Conkeldurr Mach Punch into our Beartic. I just wanted to have this so that you know, like, if you're up against a Conkeldurr and you're at, like, around the 30% range, don't let it be there. It'll die, like, immediately if it's Dynamax. If not, then it can do upwards to 60%. So, yeah, it's not great. Conkeldurr is pretty scary against it. So, yeah. Like, naturally, as, like, any Pokemon that's, like, you know, weak to Conkeldurr threatens it a lot with Mach Punch and stuff. So yeah, that's about it for our damage calcs. So go ahead and talk about Single Spotlight real quick. I don't foresee this Pokemon being too used in Single Spotlight, honestly, or in singles in general. So our build is very similar. The only things I really switched was Life Orb. I made or weakness policy, I made Life Orb, just because like weakness policy is really unreliable in singles. You can't ever self-proc it. And then also Slush Rush, or I don't know actually. So like it depends on the team. So if you go with like a Vanillix or like a Alolan Ninetales in your singles spotlight or in your singles build, then you can definitely run Slush Rush. Otherwise, you can run like Swift Swim. What's his third ability? Like Snow Cloak, I think. Oh, that's bad. So one of the two. So like your team will have to be like semi-dedicated to utilizing this Pokemon more for it to be like good at all. But then the other change that I made was Swords Dance in place of Protect, just because Protect isn't as good, and Swords Dance, you can put this Pokemon in a very advantaged state and then Swords Dance up and it's pretty good. Also, you can change this spread, so I just have max attack and max speed like the other build. However, like the speed doesn't get that fast, like you only get 112, so it might be worth to put into HP instead. I'm not sure for sure though. I also misspelled singles there. Whoops. Signals Spotlight. Oh well. Oh well, it happens, Alright, that's gonna be it for this video though. I hope you enjoyed. Beartic is pretty cool. In sum up, Beartic is pretty cool. Not insane in singles or VGC. However, in VGC you can definitely make it work. It's pretty cool. Slush Rush is like a really good ability, and the Pokemon has really good stats and is just naturally really strong, and with weakness policy this Pokemon can be insane. It has like the ability to be insane. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like Beartic, like and subscribe. If you like me, like and subscribe. If you like liking stuff and subscribing to things, like and subscribe. It means so much. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and stay safe and have a good 20 years. I don't know. Have a good one though. Bye.